Like 2 days ago, I finally got the Masters on Manon, and since then, I've been spending a lot of time trying to optimize the character, which is just a fancy way of saying I'm trying to get more damage off of each hit while spending an efficient amount of resources. But let me give you an example. It'll probably help you visualize it a little bit better. Hey, before I give up the goods and we take a look at this disgusting combo, scroll down, check if you're subbed. We're getting close to 10K. Thank you. This combo is going to do like 4,800 damage or something like that. But you have to remember that we just spent everything that we had. So this is not the most optimal thing to do all the time. I know that's kind of the trap, is that I just did stand medium punch into all this damage. So you're thinking, oh, that is the most optimal thing I can do. That is the most damage I can get off a stand medium punch. So I'll just do it every single time. But you have to remember the second part of optimizing your character is efficiently spending your resources. So when is it efficient to spend everything that you have? If it's going to kill. That's when you want to do a big combo like that, a max damage combo. Or situationally, if you're in the last round and you just want a huge life lead to finish things out, you could do that. It does like 50%, and then you play the game with a 50% life lead. Now that's a bit of an extreme example, but I'm saying your character definitely has a max damage combo off of a hit like that, right? Whether it's crouch medium kick, stand medium punch, stand heavy punch, whatever it is, your character has a max damage combo that you can go into off of drive rushing and normal, so you need to figure that out. Let's talk about a little bit more common situations where you're not just trying to kill off of a button like that. Let's say you're at round start, you don't have any super meter, all you have is your drive gauge, and you land like a stand medium punch on Manon or like a crouch medium punch on Cammy, and you drive rush behind it. There are a couple options that I'm going to show you on Manon that you can kind of use as an example to understand how it could apply to your character. So for Manon, if I do stand medium punch into drive rush at the round start, maybe I want a metal, right? So I do this, and I cash out a little metal. Or maybe I want Oki. Right, so I do stand medium punch, crouch medium punch, heavy, and then I do the light ballerina kick, and it gives me real Oki, right? I'm right up against her. I can hit her as she's getting up. I can command grab. I can throw. I can do whatever I want, basically. Or maybe I just want like a lot of corner carry. So I do something like this, and I don't really get Oki, but I can drive rush and do like stand heavy punch or something like that. These are three pretty common situations for each character, right? They can choose whether they want Oki, whether they just want raw damage, they don't get pressure afterwards, or if they have a two-step mechanic, they choose to do their two-step mechanic, like the Jamie's Drink or like the metal system. And if you're a command grab character, you can gamble on a command grab after drive rush if you want really raw damage. It's one thing to know all of these combo routes on your character. It's another thing to know the situation in which you want to use them and then apply it like in your game. For example, I'm not always going for a metal. Now I'm not always going for metal. Before, if you watch some of my old games where I was still learning the character, I'm always going for metal because it's the only combo I knew. Now, I only really go for that at the beginning of games if I want to get my metal count up, or if it's at the end of a round that I know I'm kind of going to lose already. Like if I have a huge life deficit, I'm kind of already playing for the next round, then I'm more willing to just go for the metal because I know it's going to serve a purpose later. Those are kind of the two situations in which I'm prioritizing metals over everything else. The one where I do back heavy punch into this to get Oki, I kind of prioritize using that more against zoners because I don't want to reset to neutral. And if I do hit grab, you don't get real good Oki. You have to do drive rush, and then you're still kind of far away. You get crouch medium punch. It's very finicky. I just want to stay on like Dalsum or Guile or whatever zoner I'm playing against that I don't want to give space to. I'm going to do this a little bit more often than I would against like Ken or something like that. Don't get me wrong, the metal count is important on this character, but it's not everything. You don't always want to do it just doing hit grab ender every single time until you get to 5. You should know the situation and use different combos in order to win different matchups. Now, I know I've given you a lot of homework to figure out on your character. I told you to find a max damage combo, a combo that ends in Oki, a combo that gives you raw damage if that's what you want, or a combo that lets you do your two-step mechanic. And that is a lot to figure out if you don't know where to look and you don't know, how to figure all that stuff out. And for me, I mostly just steal. I watch other people's replays, I watch streamers, I watch pro players, stuff like that, and I see what they're doing, and then I go in and replicate the combo and then try and think about why they did that combo in that situation. The other thing you can do is watch your own replay and say, could I have killed off of this hit? You see a combo that you're doing over and over again, and you have to take a look at the situation and say, is that the best thing I could have done? When you start watching your own replays and looking at your combos, you'll notice that you've already kind of fallen into habits, even though the game's only been out a month. There's just things that you're used to doing. Like for me, for example, I do this a lot without even thinking about it. Like, even though mid-screen, it's not the best thing you can do, I just find myself doing it out of habit a lot of the time. So I have to consciously stop myself from autopiloting into it and instead thinking about what the best thing to do off of this is, which is, you know, there's a ton of options. If I want a medal, I can do this. And if I want damage, I can do anything that we talked about today that I was able to do off of back heavy punch. And if I don't even want to spend anything, I can just do like this. You know, you don't always have to spend meter. You can also do maybe something like this, right? Dash, do that, and then you get Oki. The possibilities are really endless in this game, even when it comes to like the most simple characters. Knowing these optimal conversions are one thing, but just being able to do them in a real game and to identify situations when to do them in a real game is a completely different monster. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you do your homework, get into the lab, figure some stuff out about your character, and it helps you get a little bit closer to where you want to be. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you again very soon.